Level 1, the mercy trap. Level 1 begins with mercy. Not kindness, mercy. And those are not the same thing, because kindness protects innocent people. Mercy protects dangerous people. And Goku does this constantly. Frieza is beaten, cut in half, completely helpless. The fight is over. This should be the safest moment in the entire arc. Instead, Goku gives Frieza energy, which sounds noble until you remember Frieza is basically Space Hitler. The Audit problem here isn't compassion, it's assumption. Goku assumes everyone values honor the way he does, but Frieza doesn't care about honor. He cares about domination. And this becomes the first major flaw in Goku's battle psychology. He keeps treating villains like future rivals instead of current threats. And every single time he does this, people almost die. Because villains don't interpret mercy as humanity. They interpret it as opportunity. Goku literally handed energy to a genocidal maniac. That is not strategy. That's optimism with muscles.
Level 2. The Saiyan ego loop. This is where the problem evolves, because now Goku stops making emotional mistakes and starts making ego mistakes. Not normal ego, Saiyan ego. The uncontrollable need to fight the strongest possible version of an enemy, which sounds cool as a viewer, until you realize how many disasters happen because of it. Goku doesn't just want victory, he wants the perfect fight. That's why he waits, why he smiles during danger, why he lets enemies transform. To Goku, a stronger opponent is exciting. To literally everybody else, it's horrifying. Imagine your planet's greatest defender watching the apocalypse happen and getting more motivated. That's Goku. The stronger the enemy gets, the happier he becomes. And the scariest part? Sometimes Goku looks more comfortable when things are getting worse. That's insane behavior, because Earth's defenders see danger. Goku sees potential, growth, challenge. This man sees a planetary emergency and thinks, finally, now we're getting somewhere.
Level 3, the Cell Gamble. Level 3 is where the Audit gets uncomfortable, because this time, Goku doesn't misunderstand the enemy. He misunderstands his own son. The Cell games are already a disaster. Goku knows Cell is stronger, knows Gohan has hidden power, knows the fate of Earth depends on this fight. So what does he do? He gives Cell a Senzu beam. At this point, even Vegeta is probably thinking, okay, that might be too far. But the real mistake isn't the beam, it's the projection. Because Goku assumes Gohan thinks like he does. He assumes Gohan secretly loves battle, loves pressure, loves proving himself through violence.
But Gohan hates fighting. He's terrified. Goku mistakes potential for willingness, and this becomes one of the darkest patterns in Dragon Ball. Goku keeps treating emotional trauma like a power-up mechanic. Gohan doesn't unlock strength because of inspiration. He unlocks it because his mind gets pushed to its breaking point. That's not mentorship. That's psychological damage with inspirational music behind it. And somehow it works, which might honestly be the worst part.
Level 4, the Overconfidence syndrome. After Cell dies, Goku makes a decision that sounds wise at first. He chooses to stay dead because he believes Earth is safer without him. And honestly, that sounds noble until you audit it properly. Because underneath the sacrifice is avoidance. Goku starts treating catastrophe like a natural cycle. Bad guy appears, Earth almost dies, new warrior saves the day, repeat forever.
And somewhere deep down, Goku becomes weirdly comfortable with that system. Instead of building stability, he trusts destiny to solve things eventually, which is terrifying because Earth's entire survival strategy basically becomes hopefully another Saiyan figures it out. That's not protection. That's outsourcing responsibility to the future. And the craziest part? He's kind of right, which only reinforces the behavior. Every time disaster somehow works out, Goku learns the wrong lesson.
Level 5, the Buu Disaster. Level 5 is where Goku's battle addiction stops being debatable. Majin Buu appears. Absolute nightmare scenario. And Goku already has the power to stop this early. Super Saiyan 3, fight over, disaster prevented, millions survive. So naturally, he doesn't do that. Because Goku wants Goten and Trunks to learn, the next generation to grow, a more meaningful fight. Meanwhile, Buu is literally deleting cities. This is where Goku's philosophy becomes dangerous. Because he keeps prioritizing potential over certainty, growth over safety, interesting outcomes over immediate solutions. And this time, people actually die because of it. A lot of people. The Audit here is brutal. Goku keeps gambling with lives that aren't his. And because Dragon Ball usually resets everything, the audience forgets how insane that actually is. Imagine if your world's greatest defender said, I could stop the apocalypse right now. This would be a really good learning experience. That's basically level 5.
Level 6, the training addiction. This level is different because now the damage becomes personal, not planetary, personal. Fighting stops being something Goku does. It becomes who he is. And once that happens, everything else becomes secondary. Fatherhood, stability, presence, even basic human connection. Chi-Chi practically raises 2 children alone. Gohan spends most of his life processing trauma without guidance. And Goten barely even knows his father. But here's the psychological trap. Goku genuinely believes training is love. In his mind, becoming stronger is how he protects everyone. So every time he disappears, he thinks he's helping. And that's what makes this level sad. Because Goku isn't malicious. He's emotionally underdeveloped. He understands battle better than relationships. And over time, the strongest man alive slowly loses connection with ordinary human life. Not because he hates people, because combat became his entire identity.
Level 7, the God Complex Paradox. At level 7, Goku's mistakes stop affecting Earth. Now they affect reality itself. Because every time Goku grows stronger, something worse notices him. Beerus, gods, angels, multiversal threats. And here's the horrifying pattern. The universe keeps becoming more dangerous because Goku keeps chasing stronger opponents. Not for protection, for self-improvement. That's the paradox.
Goku's strength used to defend the world. Now his strength destabilizes it, because every new transformation creates a new cosmic arms race, and Goku loves that. He meets literal gods and reacts like someone discovering a new gym membership. No fear, no hesitation, just excitement, which sounds inspirational until universes start shaking every time he throws a punch. At this point, Goku isn't just attracting danger, he's generating it.
Level 8, the Hitman mistake. Level 8 is where the audit completely breaks. Because now, there isn't even a threat anymore. No villain, no invasion, no apocalypse. Goku literally hires an assassin to kill him for fun. This man ordered attempted murder like it was Uber Eats. And somehow, Dragon Ball treats this like a casual training arc. But psychologically, this changes everything. Because danger is no longer necessary. It's recreational.
Goku isn't responding to crises anymore. He's creating them himself. Because normal life no longer stimulates him. That is terrifying. At this level, battle becomes addiction, not metaphorically, literally. The strongest fighter in existence becomes so disconnected from consequence that death itself starts feeling like entertainment. And somehow, everyone around him just accepts this behavior, which honestly might be the most unrealistic part of Dragon Ball.
Level 9 is the Tournament of Power. Level 9 is where Goku's battle obsession finally threatens existence itself. Entire universes are now on the line. And what causes this? Goku reminding Zeno about a tournament idea. That's it. One conversation. And suddenly, trillions of lives depend on a fighting competition. But here's what makes this terrifying. Goku doesn't really process the weight of that. To him, this is exciting. The greatest challenge ever. The greatest fighters ever assembled.
Meanwhile, everyone else is realizing we could literally stop existing. And this is the clearest moment in the entire audit. Because Goku isn't evil, he's not cruel, he just fundamentally experiences danger differently from normal people. His entire life taught him there's always another level, another comeback, another fight tomorrow. Not everyone gets plot armor, not entire universes. At level 9, Goku's love for combat finally evolves into a multiversal threat.
Level 10, the final audit. Level 10 isn't another mistake, it's the conclusion. Because after auditing everything, the mercy, the ego, the gambling, the addiction, a terrifying pattern appears. Goku was never a traditional hero. He's a warrior, a martial artist, a Saiyan, a man obsessed with transcendence. Heroes protect people because it's their responsibility. Goku protects people because fighting powerful enemies is the most exciting thing in existence to him. Saving the world is often just the side effect, and that's why Goku remains fascinating, because he isn't morally simple. He's not Superman.
He's a battle addict with enough power to survive the consequences of his own psychology. And the universe mostly survives too, because Goku keeps winning. But the deeper audit reveals something uncomfortable. The real danger was never Goku's power. It was the gap between his strength and his understanding of consequence. Because while Goku's abilities kept evolving, his morality never evolved at the same speed. And maybe that's Dragon Ball's greatest paradox. The universe is safest when Goku is strongest, but Goku becoming stronger is usually the reason the universe becomes dangerous in the first place.